Alrighty, all, welcome back to the channel. Of course, my name is Tommy, and I am with ChefsTemp. And on today's show, we are going to fire up that Weber Kettle, and we are going to use some of my all-time favorite ChefsTemp's product to make this recipe even more foolproof than it already is. Of course, I am talking about smoking a beef chuck. I mean, look, this is one of the most simple recipes that you could do. It is certainly priced right, and the finished product is always through the roof in flavor. And of course, over here at ChefsTemp, we are going to take you step by step so you can do it too. So what I want to do here is let's turn our attention down to the board. Let me show you that chuck roast. Let me show you how to pick one out that is going to be perfect for you. And let's start the show. Alrighty, so look, this is our chuck roast here on the board, and anytime you are picking out a chuck roast to smoke, you're going to want one that is well marbled, and you certainly are going to want a lot of fat on it. I mean, I always joke around if I have my wife go pick one up, I tell her to pick out the most fattiest chuck roast you could find. And also, you are going to want one at least 2.5 to 3 inches thick. That is going to allow you to get it on the pit, give it a lot of protection, and smoke it for that 5, 6, 7 hours. I mean, we are talking brisket-like, and we are going to keep it brisket-like by just using a salt, pepper, and granulated garlic rub. And you want to make sure you get plenty of rub on this chuck. I mean, she can definitely handle it. Don't forget all the edges. Once you get that all rubbed down, we are going to allow it just to sit here on the board to rest. Let's get on back over to my kettle because I'm going to show you how to fire that up using the snake method, which is perfect for that ChefsTemp S1 and Breezo fan. And as noted, I am going to use my Weber Kettle on today's cook. I've got that set up with the ChefsTemp S1 and also the Breezo fan. And basically what that is going to do is turn my dumb Weber Kettle and make it smart. So now I can monitor the cook anywhere I want, even if I want to go to the grocery store. And that Breezo fan is going to help regulate that fire to keep it at that precise setting of 250. And also of note, I am going to run my pit in a snake setup of fuel. That is going to allow it to go around in a circle around the protein and hold that steady temperature of 250. Take note exactly where my Breezo fan is set up. And also I've got some chunks of cherry laid out in the fuel. That is going to release some smoke throughout the cook. So now all there is left to do is to start it up. Again, we are right directly above that Breezo fan. Once we get it all started up and that fuel starts to go out, it is going to time to turn our attention back to the chuck. We've got to get that set up with a wireless, and then we will meet you back on over to the pit. We will get it on and we will start this cook. So as my Weber Kettle comes up to temp, we will turn our attention to the board. I've got my ProTemp 2 Plus all ready to go. This is a wireless controller that is allowing me to monitor their temperatures again wherever I go, even if it is at the grocery store. Now I am in full control of my kettle. I can raise the temperature, I can lower the temperature, and I know exactly what my protein is doing. And I just wanted to show you how that Breezo fan works. We are still coming up to temp, so I'll just set it right now in the 170 range. That is going to kick the fan on as you see, and as the temperature passes that 170 range, the fan will kick off. If she dips below the 170 range, the fan will kick on. And of course, as our pit comes up to temp, I will turn that dial over to around that 250 setting. I mean, it couldn't get much easier than that. We are almost up to temp, so let's grab that piece of chuck. Let's get it on the pit. Again, take note exactly how I am positioning it over a tin because we want to catch all that au jus that is going to come off. That is all flavor. And also I've got the stem on my S1 from ChefsTemp at the end of the snake. You do not want that over the heat, and that'll give you the most accurate reading that you could possibly get. So look, what I want to do here is let's set up this cook in the app. Let me show you how easy it is to do that. After that, there is nothing left to do but wait.
Set up cook, beef, roast. We are going to go brisket. Now that is going to give you some set temperatures. I am going to lower it to 163. That's going to be the stall. And from there, the main page is going to give you your ambient temperature, your target temperature, and also your protein temperature, which is 63 Fahrenheit.
At about that 2-hour mark, it is going to be time to cool the meat down. And also you could see the protein is sitting at around 148, the pit at 260. I've got a straight water spritz. You could use a 50-50 apple cider vinegar water if you'd like. And also I like to grab my handheld and poke it in a couple different spots to make sure we are reading everything right. And please do not forget to spritz the bottom. That is going to probably be the hottest. After that, we are just going to close it back up. We've got about another hour or so to get to that stall. Once we get there, I'll bring you guys back and I'm going to show you the next step. So at approximately 3 hours in, we are definitely at the stall. You know that because the temperature has just been hovering in the same spot, and that is going to be around 160. So at this point, we will remove the chuck, and I got to tell you, I am definitely digging the color. That is going to be a product of that cherry smoke. Chuck comes out, tin comes out, tin goes on the board. 1/2 to 1 sliced onion goes in the tin. Chuck goes on the onions, foil goes on both, and back on the pit she goes. Remember, we've got that wireless gauge in there, so we are going to know exactly what is happening with the protein at all times. And also of note, you could start bumping the temp up 275 or so, because we are looking to take this cook home at about 200, 203 or toothpick tender. So this one's going to come in right at around that 6-hour mark. We are showing 211 Fahrenheit internal in the protein. Now remember, when you remove the foil, be careful. There is packed up steam in there. You do not want to burn yourself. And also we've got to poke it for toothpick tender. Once all that checks out, we will get it on over to the board. We will get some foil on it, let it rest for about 10-15 minutes or so, which will be about 20 seconds your time. At that time, I'll bring you guys back and we will take a look. We will slice it up. We will do that taste test, talk about it, and of course, close out the show. Alrighty, also, this one's going to come in right at that 6-hour mark, and I got to tell you, I've done these in the past many times, and they have taken usually a little bit longer than that, but 6 hours is going to be the call here. All the ChefsTemp products that I use in this video will be down in the description. This ProTemp and of course that S1 and the Breezo fan just worked, just worked as they are supposed to work, and that is what I love about ChefsTemp. I mean, the pit held that 250 throughout the cook. Towards the end, after I wrapped it, I started to bump up the temp a little bit just to bring the cook along. And this is the final product here. And this was about a 4-pounder. I think it cost me about 25 bucks or so. And I'll tell you, this is pretty amazing stuff. This is good eats right here. Of course, I got the Au Jus over there with the onions. Let's give a couple slices and see how we did. You know, first off, right off the bat, I mean, she cuts like butter. She always cuts like butter. We've got a nice, got a little bit of a smoke ring happening, although I don't really cook for smoke rings. If you get them, you get them. If you don't, you don't. But she is definitely plenty juicy as a chuck is. I mean, the more, you know, the chuck roast is going to work more like a flat. When you hit the fatty parts in the chuck roast, that is where you're going to get your moisture or your very, very moist meat. But I can tell you it's always been plenty of moist. These chuck roasts never fail. I mean, she is slicing beautiful. No taste test can be complete without some of this Au Jus right here. Put a little bit of onion on it. And cheers. So guys, first off, you know, And again, I have made these in the past so many times. You know you're on a Weber kettle and you're not cooking it on a pellet grill because you've got plenty of smoke in this, man. If you want smoke, you got it. I layered that cherry, some cherry chunks around the snake method on the kettle, and that is going to release me some smoke throughout the cook. And again, with that Breezo fan pulsating on that fuel, it is going to control that temperature precisely, releasing all that good cherry smoke. That is exactly what I am looking for. This is amazing. All the directions, the ingredients, the full recipe is going to be down in the description. So you can run to the store, spend about 15-20 bucks on a piece of chuck like this and set up your kettle to cook it. Just follow along, man. And I am telling you, man, you will definitely, with these onions over here, the sky is the limit. I mean, you know, you can serve them open on some bread with the au jus, with mashed potatoes. You can put them on a sandwich. I mean, you can do basically anything you want to do. I am definitely in love with this recipe. It is clearly one of my favorites. And that is going to put a pin in this one. Again, my name is Tommy. I appreciate you all for watching. And until next time, we will see you soon.